this is Bella, and you are listening. W N H L P 1 O 3 point 5 F M New Haven streaming live at www. dot
New Haven Independent.
No shade.
Hello and welcome to WNHH FM's Dateline New Haven. I'm your host, Paul Bass, inviting you to join me on an exploration of what makes the Elm City tick. The Foresters make New Haven tick and have since middle school. They're here in the WNHH studio to make some noise. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Well, let me tell you who we have in the studio. Evan Nork, who's the guitarist, and are you the primary songwriter?
Yeah.
And he's 18 years old. And I'm telling you, folks, these guys have been around 6 years already and really have a following in New Haven. His brother, I'm assuming brother, Hayden Nork, who
Hi.
plays bass, an awesome bass, 16 years old.
Thank you so much.
And Liam's not
you
here.
good.
He's your drummer?
Yeah, he's
What happened to Liam? You kicked him off the bus or what?
he's
He's at summer camp or something.
yeah, something
What's
like
he doing
that.
at summer camp?
I
You
don't
guys
know
got
what he's doing.
gigs.
He's
I've-
doing he's a counselor, I think,
I think
actually.
he's like,
Oh.
I think it's like a paid gig.
Yeah.
like
Paid gig. I guess those are in short supply.
Gotta get
huh?
some money.
Hayden took a day off from his job today.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
everything.
All right.
Dedication.
And then we got Luke Slava.
Yep.
17 years old. And the Haydens are from Bethany, right? Playing New Haven scene. And Luke, you said you're from West Haven?
Yeah, I'm from West Haven.
And you're the guitar, or you play keyboards and guitar for
Yep.
the group. All right, so you guys are sort of the everyone's getting to know the secret about this band, and you have a new album out called The
do.
Barometric Pressure is on Our Side.
July 27th.
And
Yeah.
what does it mean to drop an album in these day and age when everything's online? You don't actually drop some disc on the ground, right?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question.
We've
And
been trying to figure it out ourselves.
yeah, I mean, as far as we know, like dropping something is just uploading it to Bandcamp. Like we have countless. I mean, just letting people know, hey, it's there. I mean, we have countless side projects. We have countless like projects that we've done that we've just sort of like thrown up on Bandcamp, and
Yeah.
so there's like this
Or
whole
those
kind of
didn't drop because they weren't the Foresters.
Yeah.
right?
yeah. There's this whole like Forrester's canon, I guess, of just other stuff that we've made when we're just like
Yeah, so right now all we technically have to do is push publish on Bandcamp, but we still have to do things like actually promote it. and
hey,
stuff,
it's
so,
here.
yeah.
Although
so like yeah.
yeah.
Eventually it will be here, and eventually we will push that publish button on Bandcamp. But
In about 2 weeks,
Yeah.
in fact.
Do you
Or-
guys hang out
Yeah.
with like any incense and glow lights for the moment when you push the button? Anything like that?
Hayden actually has a
Um,
bunch of incense.
Yeah,
We should
yeah,
do that.
I
we
did
should do
burn.
that.
Coincidentally, I did burn some incense this morning. Maybe we should have like a ritual, like.
that'd be
Okay.
great.
And like we'll have like a
Get some good vibes for our album.
like a countdown to 10, and then just like
Yeah.
And Julia Gambali writes in, hey, the Foresters. Thanks for listening,
Julia.
Oh, you
Hey,
know her?
Julia. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now you guys started, you were 12 years old, Evan.
Yeah,
you were
You were
I was
younger.
10 years old.
lot
You were
Actually,
10 years old.
I was 10, and Luke wasn't around, so it was just me,
Yeah.
Hayden, and Liam.
Wow.
And Liam was like 7.
What got you guys started being a band in your middle school or elementary school?
What got us started?
They saw a Green Day
We s-
concert.
Yes, and
Let me guess, your dad's a musician. I got that
No.
vibe at Cafe
No,
9,
actually, neither of our parents are. They're
But
just
he
like
loves music.
our dad is just really enthusiastic about like good music. So he raised us on good stuff. So
So when you're 10 years old and 8 years old, he takes you to a Green Day concert.
yep,
like
Where was it?
we were fans.
It was at the
back then.
Xfinity Theater in Hartford, and we came back, and it was just so like beautifully, like it was so enticing. Like we just came back, we're like, we need to do this,
Wow.
and we did it.
We used like our allowance money or something and we got like just like crappy starter instruments, and we still have like the original parts of the original drum kit that Liam got.
Well, people compare you guys to the Fuhrers, who were probably the best local band of the last part of the last century. And they're still around. But
Oh man,
they've done like a tribute band where 30 bands do versions of Fuhrer songs.
Oh, wow.
And they were two guys, made of them. They wrote very quirky, interesting songs that, like, you guys had that good kind of upbeat kind of pop and somewhat beat and some kind of lyrical, but very much with an edge and kind of screeches off in odd directions. And they sometimes played like kid toy instruments. And they made them sound beautiful. I mean, usually it was like, banging guitars and that kind of stuff, and drums, but they really were very creative that way. So you guys started out playing the crappy instruments.
Yeah, I mean they were like, yeah.
And I feel like to some extent, like we still play a lot of crappy instruments. But
Yeah,
like, but like,
for sure.
But like crappy
Look
instruments.
at Luke's keyboard when we play live. It's like a
Oh, yeah.
Casio keyboard from 1983.
But
Yeah,
like
we use all vintage
I remember those
Casios.
Casios. Yeah, I remember.
I have like 20 Casio keyboards at home. I've been collecting them since I was in 6th grade.
But they
so-
have this like distinctive charm that really works
yeah,
well
'cause
with.
they
yeah,
don't make
what we're
stuff like
going
that
for.
anymore.
Just the
So
way
you
it's
started playing at that young age. And what kind of music were you playing at first?
just like modified Green Day songs.
Yeah, basically it was like
Just
three
to,
chord
like,
pop punk songs.
Just just like modifications of like stuff from like Dookie or whatever. Like just like I don't
See, I was late coming to the Foresters party, and I was told you guys are punk. You didn't sound that punk to me. You sounded kind of hard driving with a real kind of power pop.
know. Who told you we
As
were
to it.
punk?
The guy who booked you, Frank Critelli, and he said you guys were the future. So you're not punk, but you kind of like
We have a
power
few
pop.
songs that could be.
You can call us whatever you want, really. Like,
Yeah.
like we won't be one of those bands that will just like totally
We're punk.
don't classify us under one genre. You can call us whatever you want. You can call us new age. You can call us
No, you were not New Age. Thank God, you really weren't New Age.
You can call us whatever you want.
What were you? So what did you develop into beyond Green Day? What were you listening to next? What were you playing next?
Well, I as the primary songwriter, like what changed was just like what I was trying to copy over time, and so like that.
This is the only way to learn how to write.
Yeah, oh for sure, because writing is just like recycling, basically.
Right, Bob
Like,
Dylan recycled
Yeah.
Woody Guthrie and English folk songs, and then Little Richard. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, so like from there, like I started listening to a lot of like Built to Spill and like Pavement and a lot of like 90s indie rock stuff, and like I still love that stuff. But like around the time of our first like full album, Sun Songs, like I was really into Built to Spill, and they were like my favorite band. So they were like after Green Day. It was yeah.
And then you started playing gigs. I mean, you guys are obviously
Yeah.
good at this. You were so Evan, you was the oldest guy in the group. You were 12 years old when you were playing.
Yeah,
on Pitkin Plaza in New Haven in that famous night
when
of
the
when-
riot happened.
when the Idiot Village Festival, the alternative to the Arts and Ideas, had your big show, and some people up in the skyscraper were complaining about noise, and the cops arrested Bill Saunders, and the crowd went wild. And what were you? And I've seen the video from that night. You guys sounded really
Yeah.
good
Looking
at
back,
12 years old and 10
I'm
years old.
so like immensely like disappointed that I left so early.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude.
Because I never got to experience like I heard there
You
was
guys
like
were
a,
all gone?
but there was some sort of like punk group playing and like I forget
I
the band that was playing.
I spray painted a plastic cup. And
Well,
I thought I was really rebellious because I had this plastic cup and there was spray paint on the ground. I'm like, I'm gonna spray paint something, but I'm not gonna spray paint like the ground because that's vandalism.
So
and
you spray paint the cup.
I remember that day like super vividly. Like I remember like Bill Saunders. He had this like
He organized Idiot Village.
he had this this like stencil that said Townie in it.
Yeah.
And he spray painted it with like just like totally without my permission on my bass bag. And I just found that bass bag in my closet this morning, and I'm like oh my god, I love this. I'm so happy that like that completely against my consent he just like spray painted that on my bag.
We're gonna frame it.
That is the coolest thing ever, and I actually want to frame that.
How did you guys
So-
get a gig at 12 and 10 years old at this alternative kind of hippie or whatever creative bohemian outdoor festival of adults in New Haven? How
Bill
did that
Saunders, he just knows. Like Bill Saunders, if you're listening, we really appreciate you and we think you're wonderful.
But seriously, how did it happen? How do you know?
I don't remember. Like
Yeah.
I was 10 years old. Like I don't really remember like how that show was lined up. I don't really remember how we got that.
When the three members of your band are all from age like 8 to 12, I don't know, like you don't really, I don't know if we didn't really have any say in like booking the gigs at that point.
I
Or
think
like
we had just like released
damn.
we just released like an EP of some nature, and like maybe
Yeah,
like,
it was our debut EP.
Maybe like Bill heard that on like the
Had
radio.
you played
or-
live before that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We
Where
had-
had you been playing?
like the space, which is
You got to play the space?
yeah.
Holy
We were
crap!
we,
at
we,
10
in
years old?
peace.
we were regulars at the Amity Teen Center.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
and
sure.
so, did you go to open night, Mike, at the space, and then they gave you gigs or something like that?
No, all right. So actually, okay, I vividly remember our first show at the space, and
How did you get the gigs? Steve Rogers here? Have you had that?
Steve
happen?
Rogers, no. So actually, how it worked was we were doing this like little like, you know, like when we were kids, you know, like we were interested in finding musicians that were in our age group that were kind of like-minded and like the same stuff. So we signed up for these like rock camp things or these like music camp things, and our first thing at the space was a showcase for that rock camp.
I totally
And-
forgot that was our first show. At
And
the
you know,
space.
like how at rock camp, like you play like Green Day, you play like Nirvana, you play like all that stuff. No. At this rock camp, we wrote our own songs,
Oh, it was so
Whoa.
good.
and we played the space, and that was like so pivotal for me. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I get to play our own songs. I get to play the freaking space.
I remember getting so mad because like I had a tiny little practice amp, and the program was called Amp It Up, and they kept wanting me to turn it down, and so I kept being like, "This is more like Amp It Down." And I was like,
Isn't it
I just
ironic?
Well, you know what, guys? We've been talking about your music. Let's hear a little taste of it. So, starting on July 20th,
27th.
27th,
Yeah.
people will be able to download, purchase, whatever, the new album by the Foresters, whom we're meeting today on Dateline New Haven and WNHH FM. And the new album is Barometric Pressure is on our side. How many albums have we put out?
This will be our third.
Our third full,
All right.
full-length album. Yeah.
And it's going to drop then, and because we've learned that dropping is you push a button with or
Yep.
without incense. And the song we're going to hear is 202,
Yes.
Galvanized Dan's Theme. Just waiting for it to load here on our computer. Is that Casio?
Yep.
I was just a boy sitting on the A train, drinking marmalade when I lost my way. I had seen this before on the television, so not to break tradition, I'll put it like this: I'm happy to walk away. I don't like you, you don't like me. I know where I'm gonna stay. I don't like you, you don't like me, you don't like me too. Oh, too. I leaned into your ear to play some seedy wisdom, to help restore the kingdom you need to be. A farmer's hand reaching out, throwing colored paper. I guess I'll see you later, or not at all. I'm happy to walk away. I don't like you, you don't like me. I know where I'm gonna stay. I don't like you, you don't like me. You don't like me too. Oh, too. This is the part where you regret everything that you've done. Mother, why'd you think it's taking on your only son? Let it go. Would someone, anybody, everybody please shut up? La, da, da, da. La, da, 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 da. La, da. La, da, da, da. La, da, 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 da. La, da. Happy to walk away. I don't like you, you don't like me. I know where I'm gonna stay. I don't like you, you don't like me. You don't like me too. Oh, too.
All right, that was 202, Galvanized Dance Theme from New Haven's own The Foresters, from their new album, which is going to drop on July 27th, called The Barometric Pressure is on our side. So Evan Nork, you wrote that song.
Yeah,
What's
I
it
did.
about?
It's about it's about something interesting. It's about my Tascam 202 cassette dubber, which I bought. I bought two of them and both of them didn't work. And because we wanted to make some cassettes, and I thought 202 was like a really catchy title for a song, and I'm like, I don't like you, you don't like me, 202. but the rest of it's kind of abstract, so like it's not
Well,
necessarily.
you're making a metaphor about romantic relationship or no? Is
Yeah,
that-
it could be if you want.
Sure.
Sure.
Talk about this, the part where you say, okay, but you have a relationship with your, because they talk about how important it is to write about what you know.
Yeah,
Do you generally do that?
I think so. Yeah, that's what you do.
I like how you wrote about that one. Now you really don't know the Führers.
No,
Yeah.
no, we know them for
We
sure.
I
played a
mean,
show
that
with them.
song sounds like the Führers.
Yeah, we played a show with them.
Oh,
Yeah,
you did play a show with
Yeah,
them.
We
Cafe
played a show
9.
with them, yeah, like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
Cafe 9.
2015. Yeah.
When I wrote that one, I was really into this band Starlight Mints, and I was trying to get their sort of like quirky, like pavementy, disaffected vocal going. I don't know.
I don't think, the way you resolve with the harmonies at the end of every line, that's the part that made me most feel like the Führers and the kind of instrumentation. But so what did you think when you played a gig with them?
It was really cool. Like we'd never heard of them before, but like I felt so bad that I'd never heard of them because it was like we were missing out on something
I
amazing.
know.
I remember like the moment they hit the stage, like I was kind of in the back, and then right after the first song, I was instantly like gravitated, like I just moved straight to the front.
Floated.
And Frank Critelli actually said, like, I vividly remember him saying, like, your face will actually hurt from smiling so excessively.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
The drummer's so good with that one like hi-hat thing
My
that he does.
face,
that, like,
my face was totally in pain, like after smiling so
When my
much.
wife turned 40, we asked them to come. They came to our house and they played a
Oh, wow.
40th party show in my living room.
Oh,
And my
Wow.
kids were little then, and we called it Cafe 40. And we didn't tell my wife what was
Oh my God.
happening when she came in. But yeah, that's an awesome song. I really like that one. Now, how has
Thanks.
your music evolved over the years? What did you start out doing, and how did you see, what directions did you go into as you got older?
I think that like just as I kept writing songs, I figured out how to just make stuff less. My goal now is like to not be formulaic or like not be as formulaic as I once was. So I feel like at
And
first,
here I put you in a formula because that's the point of the Führers. So you're like unformulaic, like the formula of the Führers, right?
Yeah,
So I see you're trying to be original.
I guess.
Pretty much.
Now, how do you get in the
Really?
bars?
Really,
Hmm.
I know, like the space was all ages, and that was cool. But you're playing Cafe 9. That's sort of like out
Yeah.
bar.
Well, I think performers, regardless of age, get in.
Do you have to
Yeah,
have a
there's-
dad's sign or something?
No,
No,
Sometimes we get like little
like,
X's on our hands. Or
Yeah.
whatever,
like
but-
that's primarily what happens. Like
I
yeah,
think-
like they'll like X your hands, but like if they invite you to perform, then you just tell them you're
Yeah.
performing, and then they're like, oh
yeah.
okay.
Like I mean, I've played at Cafe 9 like as different bands too. Like I played with my friend as a Strange Tooth, which is a project that doesn't really exist anymore. But like we all went with like a bunch of friends, but like none of us were 21, and so they all had to wait outside while like just me and like two guys were on stage. And
Wow, that's too bad. You couldn't say they were the roadies or something?
yeah, we tried as we
Or let
tried.
them come up and sing background on one song or something?
Yeah,
Just turn their mic off?
we were gonna try to get them like all up on stage and like doing stuff, but I don't know. They're
Didn't
not
work out.
performers, I guess.
That stage isn't big
See, when I
enough.
was a kid, they weren't strict. So I was able to
Hmm.
go to like clubs in Greenwich Village when I was 16.
Whoa.
But now it's different, now
Yeah.
because they're really first of all, the drink age 21, not 18.
Yeah.
Although I looked about 12 when I was 16. So now you're in college now.
Yeah.
Evan's in college, and where do you guys go to school?
I'm about to be in college. I'm going to Cornell
Okay, cool.
in the fall. Yeah.
That's a great place.
Yeah.
That's just a great town. Ithaca's got great clubs. And you're still in high school, right?
yeah.
Where do you go to high school?
Amity High School.
Do you feel bad going to when you're high school and the guys are all at college? Or?
It's just age.
I I just like find ways to adjust. Like it's like I still play music all the time and make a lot of art and do like all stuff. Like just to, and like, they both aren't super far away. So
Yeah.
Oh, what's good? Well, Cornell is damn far away because
It
not
is.
only is it
4
far.
hours,
No,
yeah.
it's like and it's also there's no quick way.
Yeah.
that's true. But
We
like
drove many times. My daughter went there. Yeah.
like like I don't know, like in dire straits we could get Luke.
Yeah.
From
If you
Cornell.
got a gig.
It'll
Now,
happen.
what are you going to do about the band when you're in 3 different camps? What have you done so far the first year with Evan and Do you go to SUNY Purchase, Evan?
Yeah, I do.
So I guess you're close enough. Does the band still hang together?
Yeah, we still played shows. Like I would just go home for the weekend and we do a show. So
How about
It's-
practice?
we would we
We practiced like right before the show, like
Yeah.
the night before or something. But yeah, it worked out
Does
pretty
Evan
well.
bring new show songs, or has he sent them to you?
Yeah. Evan's been recording stuff in his dorm room. I
Oh, and
think.
Nia Simmons, by the way, has sent in a bunch of comments saying go Go Foresters,
Wow, thank you.
Smiles, and actually has the same question. How do you guys keep the music going with everyone in different places? Thanks for listening. Yeah.
I think the best way to keep our band intact, like while like I think the best way that we're gonna do it, like while these guys are both at college, like I think we just go with it. Like we don't really like let ourselves get all hung up about it, and we don't really allow ourselves to get super stressed, because if we do, then that just.
Well, I've heard
matters
interviews with
worse.
other bands who often, because they all have other projects, the way you guys obviously have other projects, and they do sometimes write songs together on the net. You know, they'll,
Yeah, that's. I mean,
like here's the part I laid down. What do you think?
yeah, like Luke has been in several like bands that are based entirely online.
I've been in like internet bands where like the members live in like Australia and California.
Wow.
And, like,
You never
England
meet
or
'em?
whatever. Yeah, you never meet them. You just send tracks back and forth and mix them all together.
And
make
like
it-
yeah,
Wow.
like in this day and age, like you can totally be like successful.
Yeah,
like,
it's really-
remotely.
You know, for an old fart like me, I have trouble understanding that, because I feel like so much of what music is about is the interaction of people that create something that's greater than the sum of their part.
But you can still have that like on a digital platform. There's still interaction. It's not like
yeah,
tactile,
yeah,
but
it's not
there.
like exactly the same, but you can still get.
Well, the
get
world's
stuff.
changed how we communicate. In my
Yeah.
generation, it's a pretty good idea to look in someone's eyes or feel them right next to you. But so Evan and Hayden, you're brothers, and
Yeah.
I've always and Nia Simmons says my brother's going to college. Oh, is that your brother? Okay, one of your brother sisters? No. And Judy Rubin Poole sends in a bunch of thumbs up. Thanks for listening, folks. So brothers have a special kind of communication, right? Like I'm thinking of the Rogers brothers, Johnny and Steve.
yeah.
right? When they were in Mighty Purple. And the thing that struck me, they would sometimes do acoustic shows. It was just the two of them. I saw them a few times. And I was struck by how much the brothers anticipated each other's moves musically, including when they were improvising. And I wonder if and I know, well, twin brothers, you know, can feel what the other one's feeling from far away. Is there something about having made music from such an early age, you two, that you play together in a way that's different from the way other people play?
I would imagine. I would say so. Yeah,
I think like Evan and I and Luke and I feel like just the Foresters as like a whole
is like an organism at this point.
we have this certain like distinctive kind of chemistry that like that I think is pretty cool. Like,
How's that play? So you're on bass and your brother's on guitar. Do you kind of sometimes do you improvise much? Do you kind of know where someone's going next?
Yeah. Like at our live shows, a lot of times we sort of like extend our songs, and sometimes we don't have like a set plan for like what we're gonna play, but
or even a set list.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like we just sort of improvise at the end of like one of our songs for a few minutes, and it usually works out pretty great because they're just so in tune with each
because
other.
we because it's all done out of like the onstage interaction.
The thing is, like when you live with each other and you can practice together every single day, that has like a huge factor in it too. Like.
So
Like I can no matter what I can do, I'm stuck with him at least during the summer.
yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like so I feel
Judy Rune Poole adds "Go Foresters" 4 exclamation points.
Wow.
That's really interesting. I also wonder when you're at a younger age, I think you're sometimes at your most creative and dynamic. You're still developing and opening to more influences.
Yeah,
and the relationships you forge are so much deeper when you're young than older. Like one of my best friends is still from 18 years old, and we would pick up where we left off 10 years later.
Yeah, it's really interesting how creativity is like super enforced on young children, and it just depends on like who hangs on to it. Like are the people who end up making stuff, like creating stuff. And because I feel like every like in kindergarten and stuff, like you draw and stuff like that, and but the people that hang on to that are like, I guess that's what we did.
And what about, are there pressures ever to break away from home, and break away from family? I know you have side projects, was obviously a great thing. Do you see yourselves kind of hanging together for a long time?
I think
Do you see yourselves at
Yeah,
35
like-
playing gigs? Making
Probably,
albums?
yeah. I
Hopefully,
mean,
yeah.
I think like the guys, like my two brothers and Luke, are just way too good musicians for me to ever consider like finding someone else, unless it's I'm like really really far away and like.
So let's hear another track from your new album.
Sure.
Barometric Pressure is on our side by the Foresters, who are visiting with us here at Dateline New Haven, WNHH FM, your home for community radio.
Last night to meeting, we're on the way, and the distance is fleeting, and I can't see approaching me. I know it's not the first time that you spit in my eye. Well, I can win with both eyes, so don't look at the wrong side. Number one. I said it once, but to make sure you heard me, when I'm around, there's opportunity and it's up to you to finally see through. There's a riot on the football field, there's a riot and it's getting started. There's a riot on the football field, there's a riot and I want to meet you. I know it's not the first time that you spit in my eye. Well, I can win with both eyes, so don't look at the wrong side. Number one. So this is how it's all going to be. Turn but the cup is all empty and it's not right as we lose life. There's a riot on the football field. There's a riot and it's raging onwards. There's a riot on the football field. There's a riot and I want to meet you. I know it's not the first time that you spit in my eye. Well, I can win with both eyes, so don't look at the wrong side. I know we have the first times when we can see eye to eye. Can we make this alright? Just don't look at the wrong side. Number one. Number one. Number one. Number one.
I don't know why I knew you were going to break it tight like that at the end. Just kind of felt your head in that way. So you were listening to the Foresters from their soon-to-be-dropped new album, The Barometric Pressure is on Our Side. And that was Win-Win with Both Eyes. They're here with us on Dateline New Haven and WNHH FM. Evan Nork, what was that song about?
That one is a lot of times, like when I write songs, the lyrics are honestly just really abstract and I focus more on like the melody and arrangement. But like for that one, it's just words that I thought sounded cool together. Like when I was like, I think like I wrote that one in senior year of high school and I was in like a class and for some reason like the phrase "win with both eyes" like popped into my head and I thought that's like a really catchy, cool phrase and I want to use that. And so like that I don't even I'm not afraid to admit that like sometimes I don't know what some of my songs are about. Like sometimes I'll write something and I know that there's something that it's about, but like sometimes it's more just about like the melody and how it works as just a song.
Bob Dylan wasn't afraid to admit that either. So what do you listen to these days? Well, what's on your playlist?
Evan, do you want to like go first? Because I'm gonna have to like.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have to give that some thought.
Yeah. As of like very lately, I've been. Actually, Luke, do you want to go?
Oh man, no one knows what they listen to.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Spotify history now.
I listen to so much.
You're gonna get a sneak inside peek at our Spotify histories.
All right, history in the making.
You know what? I've been really into this Swedish band called Bob Hund, which is like Bob Dog. Hund, yeah, and they're like this really, really amazing kind of like power pop band from Sweden that like has a really big following in Sweden, but nowhere else.
What's how you spell it?
Bob, Hund, Bob Hund. And they're like they do like these. It's sort of, I feel like it's sort of like my music where like I don't really care that I can't tell what they're saying. I just think that the melodies are like so sharp,
And the
like
sound
that's
of the
what I
words
want to
is
go
pretty
for.
important too. Like whatever
Yeah.
the literal meaning, often they have a meaning in just how they sound.
Yeah.
And how it goes with music, so it's different from a poem. You know.
Yeah, like that's what I feel like Bob Hund, like I don't know, they're really good at just making stuff that sounds good, just sound wise.
All right. And what's on? Give me one song on your playlist, Luke.
One song on my playlist. Let's see. I've still been bumping a lot of Deerhoof lately. They're a really cool band. We went and saw them in October.
And we knew I think we're pretty tight with the drummer.
Oh,
Greg.
yeah.
Greg,
Greg.
who's super one of the
Where are
best,
they
one of
from?
our favorite drummers.
Uh,
San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco.
How'd you get to know the drummer from San Francisco?
From Deerhoof, we just met him at a festival in Providence, and he was like the nicest guy in the world. And then we saw them in Athens, Georgia, and then in January we saw them at the Space.
So you guys
With
get
Palm.
around.
Yeah,
So you're going to be in Athens, Georgia this summer. Well, tell me about that gig.
we're not going to be in.
Yeah,
Athens,
I don't think we're
Georgia.
going to Athens this summer, but
Where did I get that? I thought that was up on one of
But-
your lists.
I do have a.
for the past 2 years we went to Athens Pop Fest though, and we played
Oh.
there.
Yeah, well,
So
last summer we played at Pop Fest.
What was that like?
that was a really great experience because it's with like all these amazing bands that like on the set list. I mean on the lineup, like there's like Superchunk and there's Ott and there's Letitia Sadier from Stereolab and all the stuff we love.
And like Eureka, California, which is a really good band from Athens.
Yeah.
Huge shout out,
Why-
Marshmallow
yeah.
Coast. We love Marshmallow Coast.
And we got Robert Schneider from the Apples in Stereo. We're pretty good friends with him, and he got us to like join them the Apples for some songs.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was like
Oh,
the
fun.
most euphoric experience, just playing like
I
these
played
songs.
trombone for Robert.
Was that
Schneider.
during
Yeah.
the live performance?
Yeah, that was during the Apples. Yeah,
And that was pretty surreal. Like
We all got to go
like
up on stage.
like
at the
even
end.
like
Yeah.
playing like a tambourine, like and just singing along was
along to like Energy or something.
Like, the movement, that
And
was
Nia
just-
Simmons asked if you guys are on Spotify.
We are.
Yes,
we're
we
on
are.
Spotify.
Where do
We
they
just-
find you there?
Just search the Foresters.
Foresters.
I
It
remember
should
Forces
come up.
has one R.
We'll
How did you
come
get
up,
the
yeah.
name? What does the name mean?
When I was 7, I wanted to start a band. The Foresters actually technically goes back before 2010, to like 2007, when like me and my two brothers would like pretend that we were in a band, and so like I came up with the Foresters. I also had Looking for Lightning Bugs. There was Time for Blood,
Which is
was
my
one of the
favorite.
names. Yeah, that's the best one.
I think Time for
Uh,
Blood's kind of dope. I feel like we should use that. for
Time for
something.
Blood. But I think the Foresters, like, it's just because like we live like right next to the Naugatuck State Forest. Like it's actually our backyard, and so I think there's just so much forest that like my 7-year-old brain was like the Foresters. And so when it came time to actually start the band a few years later, like I just picked that name from my arsenal of band names that I made up when I was a little kid.
So in addition to July 27th, people can go and begin to purchase and download the barometric pressure is on our side by the Foresters. What other plans coming up? Any big shows? Any projects?
Yes. August 10th, we're playing at the Space Ballroom with who are we playing with?
One Line Drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. It was very cool. This guy from this band called Far, who's pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that'll be a pretty big show. It'll be our first show after the album's out, so we're probably gonna play most of the album there. And it'll be my last show before I leave for college.
All right.
Yeah.
And then,
Sad.
so any other gigs on like Christmas break or anything?
Nothing booked for then, but
And who
Yeah,
does your booking?
We
You
have
never
Vinyl
know.
Street, right?
I don't know.
Like who arranges your gigs?
Kind of collaborative thing. Like
It's
we all
usually
kinda-
Hayden at this point.
Yeah.
Like I'll I'd hit up people on like Messenger, or I send emails. It's primarily.
He gets it all
All right.
done.
Well, guys, I really appreciate that you came in today. I had so much fun.
Yeah,
meeting
thanks for
you.
having
Yeah,
us.
thank you
After
so
hearing you, I
much.
loved your last gig at Cafe 9. You know, I was going to go to the Arts and Ideas Festival. I hadn't gone this year. Then I thought this sounded good. Frank Ritelli said you guys were the hope for the future, and he ended up being right.
Aw,
And
thank
that
you
was
so
the,
much.
so
that
much,
was the
Frank.
discovery.
I'm really glad you came, and we had fun, and yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we're going to take it out with you guys, actually. We used to take out the Afro-Semitic experience. I want to thank the Foresters for coming in. Evan Nork, Hayden Nork, and Luke Slamba. Luke is off to college. Evan's going to second year, but they're hanging tight. And we're still going to hear a lot from them in the future, including as we say goodbye. And thanks for listening today on WNHH, your home for community radio. We're going to take it out with one more track from the Foresters' new album. Make sure you line up to get it. The barometric pressure is on our side. We're going to listen to Hospital Friends.
I drew a picture to honor it. 1, 2, 3.
Sit by the road, nowhere to go. I like it just getting ready for accepting the fact that it's come to an end, but you'll still have time to make hospital friends. Oh, it's some kind of trick you play on us. I didn't know if you were kidding, but now it's come to be something out of reach. We're not who we thought we would be. The road will get windy and tires will get muddy, and it won't change anything if you lose your car, but you'll still have time to make hospital friends. Being alone so very far from home is something I never felt, but I can adjust that you'll still have time to make hospital friends. Ba 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 da da da. Ba 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 da 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 da. Ba 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 da da da. Ba 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 da 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 da.
Vegetarian bread and butter mix.
Yeah, there it is.